I know the injuries have been part of the entire year. Practice today. Is it like, oh, here we go again, or it's
it's part of the game, unfortunately. And a lot of teams are going through stuff like this. A lot of teams went through stuff like this last year. We went through stuff like this last year. And it's part of the game. It's very unfortunate, and we hope he gets better as quick as possible. It's a big part of what we do. But you can't let that discourage you or get you down or start thinking, oh, here we go again, stuff like that.
How you guys feel?
Good, very good. Very good.
Why? What's making you guys feel that way?
Oh, we just have a lot of confidence in ourselves and what we do. We feel like we're preparing at a high level, giving it all to each practice, each detail, each play, each rotation, and just preparing ourselves for what's to come.
How much has the rest, the initial 2 days helped your leg in terms of getting back to
good,
close to normal as possible?
It's good. It's very good. I got good workouts in, good lifts in, and able to kind of progress on some of the things that I was working on during the injury and before the injury. Just all that time, you take it and you can really use it in a positive way. And that's what we're doing this whole entire week.
I know you talked about getting your wind back. How does your conditioning feel? Did you come back for a few days?
Oh, much better. It's much better. It was struggling for a little bit there. And that was a combination of a couple of things. But just being out for a month, and when you have a leg injury, I found it hard to increase cardio before I was able to even play, and that's, I wanted to get those games in before the playoffs. I wanted to kind of push it and push myself. And, I think I got some results from that.
When you have a week like this where you don't know who your opponent is, Mike's talked about tightening the screws and kind of focusing on yourself.
Right.
Does that kind of make it easier when you're still waiting to figure out who you're in?
Yeah. That's it right now. It's just working on ourselves. We don't know who we're going to play. We know the two teams. We know them well. We've played them both, I think, 4 times this season. So just continue to prepare at a high level. And that's what we did last year at this time. And that's what we're looking to do right now.
Something Chris and Jay told us last year is that you never really know playoff basketball until you get there. You've been there now. What are the impressions you took away from last year that you think are going to help you this time around?
It's really physical. It's really physical, and each game is its own, its own thing. You can't think because you got a 2-0 lead on some of it, they're just going to roll over. You can't think because things worked in games 1 and 2 that they work in game 3. And just those lessons are big things that we learned that we'll take with us this year.
I had a lot of fun asking you guys about the pregame kind of warm-up routine. What's your favorite thing that happens?
I think it's the whole thing in its entirety, not necessarily one thing specific, but it's just what we do. It's become a staple of our pregame routine, and it seems to get longer and longer each time, delaying us to get to the court more and more each time. But it's a lot of fun, and it just shows the energy of the team and how much passion we have for what we do.
How difficult is it, if at all, to stay in the moment throughout a playoff run? Hopefully, you get all those 16 wins. And where does that mindset go? Change, if at all?
I don't think it's difficult. I think that's the exciting part of it, is stacking the wins and figuring out mistakes and learning from experiences. But as you win, the stakes get higher and higher, and so that's what kind of keeps you focused and keeps you locked in. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and it's a competitor's dream.
How does this kind of practice feel compared to last year? Now that you guys have been there, is the energy different? Do you guys feel a little more sense of being locked in this time around?
I wouldn't necessarily compare it to last year. I think that's kind of dangerous. I think our level of focus has been high. Attention to detail has been high. And like I said, with each playoff game, it's even more so true for years of playoffs, I can only assume. You can't just think because you've been in the playoffs one time before that it'll go the same way. But we just know that, you kind of got to expect the unexpected, and just expect for a lot of high level basketball, high physicality basketball. And the only way you can prepare for that is just being real focused, paying attention to details, and then being able to just let it loose on Sunday.
What's it been like for you to see Dario taking the steps forward?
It's been really cool. He's been here every day working, and just to see the progressions, you can see him getting better and better each day. And now that he's on the court, it's really nice to have him back on the court in some capacity. And I hope that he'll continue to trend in a positive direction for our team and for himself personally.
How much does that perspective help you guys sometimes? Because Dario described it as like a cooler head on the bench, maybe when he's not in the game, and he can have a 30-second conversation with you that can help during the game.
Those things are important, and everybody that's been out has been able to contribute in that way. And that's you know, that's where he's made his impact on this team this year.
It seemed that the Paul George news today, that kind of gave you pause at all. When you take it
Always. You got to be careful this time of year because everything is so high stakes. You never wish anybody to get sick, and we certainly don't wish any of our own teammates and personnel to get sick. So in that sense, yes.
Looking at last year, you guys were playing a team that had a situation where you're like, should we be playing this game? How would you?
Last year?
Yeah.
Just hoping that everything's in place, that we can be as safe as possible on the court. But there's never, I don't think I can remember a situation where I had any pause going onto the court. Like, am I in danger? You know, we were testing so regularly last year and all that I felt pretty confident stepping on the court.
But you guys aren't testing as much this year, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to get into that too much, but I don't think it gives me any hesitation on stepping onto the court for this playoff series.
Now getting the playoffs, of course, it's a new season, so you feel like you want to have that more explosiveness to come back and get more emphasis to be that spark off the bench.
Yeah. It is kind of rejuvenating between this week and just the fact that it's, you know, you can look at it as a whole brand new mini season that you know, will have its challenges and it'll have a lot of fun moments, I'm sure. But, you know, just taking it one game at a time. Our biggest game of the year is Sunday night.
Where are you watching the game tonight?
I think we're going to Book's house to watch it.
Nice house.
Yeah,
It's got enough room, right?
Yeah, I think so.
When you did like one of those video tours on YouTube.
Yeah, so you guys seen it. It's not a bad spot to watch a game.
Be better than mine. So, no.
Mine too. Don't worry about it.
As long as the game's on, you know.
With Willie in it, what did he mean to you when he was here? And how much you used to, of course, follow him?
Willie, that's just when we play him. Willie was a big part of what we did, and to see him take a team this far in his first year, you know, and it's not easy. He, you know, roster shuffling, injuries in and out, but I think he's done a really good job with those guys, and you know, I know how much he meant to our program. There's certain days where, you know, he was a big voice in our huddle, and days where he was really leading the charge, and defensively he was a great mind and really had us locked in on the defensive end. So to see him succeeding right now is really cool to see. You know, it's the first time in my career that I've had an assistant coach go to a head coach, and you know, I remember watching him last year thinking this guy's gonna be a head coach real soon, and it did come real soon. He's doing a really good job, so I'm really happy.
Got word that you're gonna be reenacting Mark Blackman commercial with sneakers.
Yeah.
Clean. So I would feel your middle name's Jordan, so I would feel like reenacting that as one of the
that was
named after.
Yeah, that was really cool. I never saw those commercials live on television, but I had Michael Jordan VHS tapes that I would watch every day as a kid. You know, I think I told you guys this before, but I would watch them every day. And at least a couple of them, they would show those commercials. So I was really familiar with the commercials already. And, you know, that was a huge part of my childhood. Those VHS tapes in particular, and watching Jordan play as much as I could as a really small child. But it was really cool for me.
Still got a VHS player?
Back at home in Moon Township, Pennsylvania, I do. And I still do have the tapes too. But I actually have them on DVD format now also. So as I got a little older, we got a DVD collection with all of those VHS tapes converted to DVDs, and then like 5 or 6 of like Jordan's signature games. It's really cool. And I watched those a ton, obviously too, but that was a big part of my childhood.
Press record and play at the same time.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cam.
Thank you guys.